Alright guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness and welcome to a bonus video. Today we're going to be talking about six underrated horror films that I think you guys should check out right now. Just to give a brief little overview, I can feel a burp coming. Nope, swerve. Anyways, so just to give a brief little intro to this video, I am not going to be reviewing all of these movies. There's not going to be any spoilers about them or anything like that. This is purely, it's basically me giving a little intro into each of these movies while not spoiling the shit out of it, because obviously, as far as I can tell, not a lot of people have seen these. So I'm not going to spoil the shit out of it. I'm just going to give a little intro to it, like you can expect. A brief little quip about my thoughts about the movie and where you can go see it. Now, the way I kind of laid this list out, I kind of went from most likely to have been watched by people to least likely. So the first two, maybe like super hardcore horror fans are going to be like, what the fuck, man, I've seen this. But I've noticed a lot of people who watch my videos also, you know, they like scary movies, but they don't go super in deep in the genre typically. And well, that's fine. You can be a casual horror fan. I have no problem with that at all, you know. But I recommend these movies to anyone. Because they're just so fucking good, and all for varying different reasons. But so yeah, the first, we're gonna basically go in order of obscurity, which that might not be the best term for it, but hey, fuck it. But anyways, guys, I'm really excited to get into these. To prevent any other type of rambling that I can do, let's just go ahead and hop into it with our first movie. All right, let's talk about Revenge now. I initially saw this with my mom at the beginning of the pandemic. I had it recommended to me a while back by my buddy Chase, who was a fellow horror hound, and he told me, like, man, this movie's the shit, dude. You have to go watch Revenge. And I was like, all right. And I had it in the back of my head for a while, and I didn't want to, you know, rent it on VOD or anything like that because I'm a fucking cheapskate, I guess. But I was like, if I ever get the opportunity, I know that guy knows this fucking horror, and I really want to see it. So eventually, during the pandemic, like at the very beginning, I'm like, God, I need to fucking watch more horror movies. So I finally nut up and buy Shudder, which you guys need to fucking go buy Shudder. If you're a fan of this channel, if you're a fan of the horror genre, you can fork over the extra little dough. Why would you not? It's fucking great. It is the Netflix of horror. I'm not sponsored by them, I swear. If someone wants to send this to them, you know. But anyways, but no, I just need to put over Shudder because it's a fucking great service, man. It really, really is. Moving on. So when I found out that Revenge was on Shudder, I was like, fuck, we gotta watch this. So me and my mom sat down. I knew it would be good because I trust Chase's opinion about movies and shit like that. And this movie fucking blew my balls off. Dude, this movie is so fucking good. Just to know what you're expecting, just to give you a brief little preview of what this movie is about. Basically, this asshole goes on a trip with his hunting buddies, and he also brings along his like little mistress or side piece or whatever you want to call her. And she is initially presented as a very ditzy, you know, party girl, whatever, carefree. And they, you know, his hunting buddies do some very barbaric, awful shit to her. And then once her lover finds out, instead of getting pissed off at them, he basically tries to kill her, and they leave her for dead. And from there, we get to see this metamorphosis of this character basically go from being this nice little ditzy party girl to a fucking badass, and it is so satisfying. Obviously, the film is called Revenge, so I don't want someone going, oh, spoilers. She gets her revenge. What the fuck? The movie is called Revenge. But just how she goes about it and the twists and turns that this movie has, it's fucking exhilarating. It's pulse pounding. It's brutal as all living shit too. It's an incredible fucking ride, and I wholeheartedly recommend each of you who are watching this go out and watch it, and you can watch it on Shudder. Now, let's move on to the next movie. All right, Haunt. Man, this is a fucking cool one. Also, you can see this on Shudder as well as many other amazing movies. I swear there's gonna be like a conspiracy, like, oh, he's sponsored by Shudder, he's bullshitting. I wish I was though. But anyways, man, yes, you can go see this on Shudder as well. Do a little double feature once you get Shudder. Watch Revenge and then watch this fucking movie. But just to go into it a little bit, I fucking love the idea of haunted houses. There are some really, really cool ones, and there are some really, really shitty ones. I've been to both. But I've always been intrigued by that idea. You know, you always hear people like, oh, what if they actually fucking kill you? And what if, you know, blah, 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 blah. What if some psycho gets hired by them and is actually killing people in the haunted house? And you would never know because, you know, they're screaming all over the place. And people and actors are getting stabbed all the time, you know, and all this shit. And this movie, I would say better than pretty much all movies that have to do with a haunted house, thrives on that fear of what if like actual fucking psychos are running this shit. Obviously with a movie that's based in a haunted house, you have to have good atmosphere. This movie has fucking incredible atmosphere. Like, it utilizes the haunted house element so well. It's just fucking killer, man. I love this movie. There's a solid story there too, like with the main girl and her abusive boyfriend and all this yada yada stuff, you know. But we're there to see people get killed in the haunted house, let's be honest. And we get that too, man. Some amazing kills in this. Very fucking freaky. There's some cool twists with the people that are running the haunt. And man, hop on Shudder right now, guys. Go fucking see this shit, dude. It is so fucking rad, man. Yeah, I'm gonna not ramble too much about it. I don't want to give too much away, so there you go. Let's move on to the next film. All right, so this is one that I feel very, very, very strongly about. Creep is such a unique movie. I really don't know how to describe it. Obviously, I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything like that. But it's a found footage movie. And it's just from everything from the premise to the performances to the way the story is laid out to you. It's so unique and it's so different. Just everything about this movie. That's the main selling point I have for this one, is it's just so unique, but it's so fucking unnerving. It is an extremely creepy movie. Basically what's going on here is a gentleman has hired a videographer because, you know, I don't know if I even want to go into why he has hired this videographer. I really just want you to go into this blind. But basically he has hired this videographer to document a day in the life of him, of, you know, the guy. He's just hiring him to follow him around with a camera. And his reasoning for this, while I won't give it away, is very, very heartfelt. and very sweet in all of this. But throughout the day, we kind of get a little more detail as to what's really going on, and that's when shit really hits the fan. I love found footage horror. I think when it's done right, it is incredible. And this is a very unique found footage horror movie, and it's just fucking great. I really can't say anything else about it. And I'm not going to say anything else about it because we got to move on to the next film. All right, Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Man, the story I have with this is honestly pretty fucking cool. Anyone who knows me personally knows I'm a fucking DVD hound. I mean, just look behind you. That is one shelf, by the way. One shelf of, oh fuck, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I have 8 shelves that look just like that. So I'm a very big supporter of physical media. I fucking love it. I don't ever want it to go away. God bless streaming services. I think it's a very unique way. Not a unique way. I think it's a very cool and convenient way to consume media. But for me, physical media, something you can hold in your hands, that's just my fucking shit, man. I love it. But anyways, so when I go to used DVD shops and stuff like that, if I have a little extra dough, obviously I have a list of movies that I want to look for and buy, but I'll always just kind of browse around, whether it be a horror section or I'll just look around, and I want a cover to capture me, and I want to buy a movie blind. I don't want to know shit about it. I just want to go into it and fucking just, I want it, you know? And I just want to sit down and I want to know nothing about it. And if it sucks for me. I've had experiences like that too. But I came across the cover art of this movie, which Google it because I was not able to fit the whole poster in the frame. But I saw this cover and it just fucking captured me, man. And I was like, well, this is going to be my random purchase. I think it was like $4. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And what I got is an amazing, incredible, fucking terrifying South Korean horror film. Holy shit, guys. Like I've said before, it is not easy to scare me. It is not easy. I do not scare easily. Scare mazes, fucking all that bullshit. Nothing scares me for the most part. As opposed to like real life fucking bullshit. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about horror. In the realm of horror, there is really nothing that gets to me. Nothing that really gets under here, you know. There are scenes in this movie that I almost shit my pants. And I am proudly admitting that because movies like this need to be experienced. This is incredible. It basically it's a like a Ghost Hunters-esque team who are all recruited, and they go to this haunted asylum, and they, you know, shit goes down. That's all I'm gonna say. I want you to go in this completely blind. Besides, you know, what I just said. It's just, bar none, it's one of my favorite horror movies now. I'm not going to say it's in my top 10 necessarily, but as far as movies I've seen this year, this one came out in 2018. I watched it during the time where I could basically watch whatever fucking movie I wanted, 2020. But this was one of my favorite movies I watched all year. I sat down, I turned all the lights off in my room. It's Halloween night. Big mistake, by the way, because this movie scared the shit out of me at certain moments. Wasn't necessarily looking under my bed or anything like that. I can detach myself, you know, from a movie once it's over. But while I was watching that shit, dude, oh God, there are scenes in this movie, guys. You just gotta go see it. Anyways, this is going on 4 minutes 30, already way more than I was expecting to go into it, but please go watch this. And you can go watch it on Tubi TV. Tubi TV is a service that a lot of you probably have on your smart TVs and you're just scrolling past it. Just to show you I'm not sponsored by Shudder. That's going to become a joke now that people are going to think I'm fucking sponsored by them. But just to show you that I'm not, I'm going to ride another streaming service's dick. Tubi TV is free. Free with ads, you know, so if you're big into bitching about ads, whatever, but it's a free service and they have some fucking bangers on there, man. Currently rewatching Lucha Underground with my girlfriend on there. They have plenty of awesome horror movies, this being one of them. And actually, the last two entries on this list also you can watch on Tubi TV. So please, for the love of God, go check out Tubi. It's free. You have no excuse not to. And it's fucking rad, man. So anyways, next movie. All right, now we're getting into the shit, man. And I don't say that in a bad way. The fucking Poughkeepsie tapes. I remember hearing about this from a friend of mine at the time, and he was telling me, and obviously it was bullshit, but like he was telling me about this movie that was so mysterious and like no one has seen it and it has real death in it and all this shit, and obviously that's not fucking true. This is a movie, but people were like buzzing about this movie for a while and no one could fucking get a hold of it. Like no one could get a hold of it. It came out in 2008 initially. I think it had like a very, very limited theater run, and then just no one, it just fell off the face of the earth. And it's a shame too. And it eventually got a Blu-ray release recently and stuff like that. But for a while, a good 10 or so years, this movie just fucking just flew off the face of the earth. What's going for this movie, which you can also watch on Tubi TV for free right now. Go check it out and go support Tubi TV as well. The Poughkeepsie tapes is genuinely upsetting. It's genuinely unnerving. Tells the story of a serial killer who documents his killings and fixates upon this one girl, and it's a documentary style movie. It's, you know, none of it's real. It's all fiction. And you'll be telling yourself that while you're watching this, because there are scenes in this movie where you're like, fuck. Like, Jesus. But the guy playing the killer is really, really good. Really, everyone in this movie is rock solid. There are some of the people being interviewed are a little hammy, but that's something I'm willing to look past, because there are segments of this movie that are genuinely upsetting to watch. You know, he kidnaps this girl, and I will just I'll let you think whatever you want to think, or not think. I will let you see the rest for yourself, because this movie, I don't want to give a lot away about it, because this movie is just, it's such a good, I'm not a big mockumentary guy. I don't, if I'm watching a documentary, I want it to be real shit. And this one immediately, it proved me wrong. Because I wasn't a hater of mockumentaries, but I just really wasn't into the idea of it. And man, this movie, I can't see this movie just being presented any way but this. The story told here is so fascinating and so creepy that it just needs to be witnessed. And that's why it's on this list. Hell yeah, man. Go check out the Poughkeepsie tapes on Tubi right now. And on to the very last film, and I saved, in my opinion, the best for last. Check it out. That's right, guys. Let's talk about Lake Mungo. Dude, we have another documentary style film here. when I got done watching this on Tubi TV, also Tubi, if you want to sponsor me, just let me know. Anyways, but so once I watched this on Tubi, after I got done with it, this was one of those ones that I just randomly flipped on before I went to work. Big mistake. This movie again is much like the Poughkeepsie tapes, is genuinely upsetting. The difference here between this and the Poughkeepsie tapes is this one actually is genuinely terrifying at times. Mostly by the just haunting imagery. There's imagery in this movie that rattled my fucking bones and just cut into me. Now, I said with Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum, that movie, while it scared me, once the movie was done, I detached myself, whatever. Once Lake Mungo wrapped up, I was fucking, for like, I would say a solid hour, I was just like I was in my own head because of the subject matter in this movie. It's obviously, a good amount of it's fictionalized, and once you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. But, there are aspects of this movie that are very, very real. It tells the story of a family's process of mourning their dead daughter who drowned. And that's a very real thing. And the way they depict that in this movie is so accurate. They're not always crying. They're not always like, oh, obviously there is that in the movie, and they do break down eventually, but there's a lot of sadness, a lot of undertone sadness in this movie. And obviously there's horror elements and paranormal stuff and yada, yada, yada. You get the whole shebang. But at the root of this movie, to me, feels fucking real. The Poughkeepsie tapes, while it's entertaining and there are aspects of it that can happen, actually pretty much all of it can happen in some degree, the presentation of it is very, I say this with the most love, hammy. All of this shit is fucking raw. It is raw. It feels real. There's paranormal elements, which I personally believe in the paranormal. We'll get into that another time. So even that aspect of it, this movie fucking rattled me, guys. And there was a solid hour or so while I was driving to work, and while I was at work, I could not stop thinking about this movie. Absolutely fucking great. I 100% recommend you guys go check this out on Tubi TV. That's 3 for Tubi and 2 for Shudder. So Shudder, come on. No, I'm playing. But anyways, guys, go check out Lake Mungo on Tubi TV. Check out all of these movies on their respective streaming services. Just 6 incredible fucking movies that I don't think get talked about enough. I'm sure there's some person that's gonna watch this like, I've seen all of these. You don't know what you're talking about. Whatever, dude. Fuck off. But anyways, yeah, 100%, guys. Go check this out. Go check all of these out. And that'll fucking do it, man. Next time on Days of Darkness, I promise this time, get you with a little swerve. But next time on Days of Darkness, for real, we are going to be talking about the 1978 classic, Halloween. So, hell yeah, guys. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there and keep watching horror. All right. Peace, guys.